All right, fellas, I'm gonna do this like a few series of short videos. Try to get them all put together for you. I am considering doing an ebook to actually help you with your user skill, as opposed to doing copy paste, money plays, this, that, and the other. I want to get the community better at just playing football instead of just be out there looking for some little corny way to kind of get stuff. So we're going to break this down. I'm going to do drop zones, then I'm going to do man coverage, then I'm going to do match coverage, and then I'm going to do press variants and how to pick up blitzes with it, and so on and so forth. Should be like 4 or 5 videos, pretty short. It's actually pretty easy. Usually, the best way to do this is to attack where most users aren't. You know, until you get better at attacking users, you don't want anything going like something where they can run with it. You know, it's easier for someone to user a crosser than it is to user something vertical. Because vertical, if they try to lurk, you beat them over the top. If they try to go over the top, you can beat them underneath. If you're just doing a crosser, you don't have that leverage to kind of go, you know, forward or back behind him until you get like very skilled with it, and they can just hold turbo with the route. Now you want to take that leverage away from them. So I always try to be like, start from the outside and work your way in. It's just like when you're going through your reads, you know, you go with what you got, and then you just work your progression over. But I like to go outside to in, regardless what zone they're in. You want them to fear your ability to, you know, attack them. So like I said, this is going to be pretty quick. It doesn't matter what I put. I just want to kind of put this information out there so that you have resources, so that you're not just looking for the top Madden gamers just to, you know, copy paste and do the same thing against each other. You know, so once you apply skill to your game, you're gonna start going places. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this against random drop zones. It'll be like cover 3 sky, cover 4 drop, and like Tampa 2. Obviously, the mid read does match, but the clouds shouldn't. I will make one inept must for anybody that's running like a shotgun based offense. You always want to make sure that the running back is on the same side that your quarterback throws with. So this alone should help you knowing when you should flip your plays. You shouldn't just flip it based off of what hash you're on, but you should flip it based off of where the running back fits next to the quarterback. Okay, so that alone is, you know, key information that you guys need to start utilizing. Unless you just run with like a righty and a lefty, like if you're playing with the Falcons, you can just flip your quarterback based off of where you're at. Let me choose and let me go back into formation, make sure my running back is out in front of me. So everything in this should be flipped. And we'll go from there. All right, so pretty simple. When you're attacking zone drops, they're basically giving you soft spots, leveraging coverage, okay? You can go to skills trainer if you're having problems attacking specific defenses, but if you go into the skills trainer, they're going to show you the weak spots of every defense. So all you have to do is just practice throwing in weak spots. Obviously, a cover 3, those seams from the slot, or well, not necessarily seams, but those curls, they're going to drop maybe 5 yards in between these two routes, right? 5 to 10 yards maybe in between these routes. And this, usually in drop, the corner either plays press and he'll sit there like he's in a cloud, or he'll play straight bell, meaning that he's going to turn his hips and just immediately run vertical. Because most zone drops, they don't go based off of what route is in front of them. They go by what attacks them vertical, or whatever pushes their threshold. So if you have a 2-by-2, obviously, versus cover 3 or any single high or man defense, you're going to have the advantage attacking. Okay, that's why I try to tell people don't run a lot of cover 3 in this game. You know, I mean, you can, but when you're stretched out 2-by-2, it's not going to look good for you. Okay, but again, like I said, you want to attack the soft spot. So I'm always trying to freeform to the sideline, or depending on how they're giving me looks. I know sometimes they'll press, but we're not going to do press right now. I'm going to do this in, like short videos so that you guys can kind of see what I'm looking for here. So obviously, I'm just going to throw it over there. He's going to bail, and we're just going to lead it behind. Okay, pretty simple. It's pretty fast. I'm going to show you under center as well. It's a little bit more tricky under center because I know when you're playing squads, it like glitches out if you play shotgun unless you run like a play action or something. But you need to be able to know how to freeform under center as well. It's a little bit faster. So, I mean, I would suggest learning under shotgun first before you take it to that level. Okay. So it's pretty simple. You just wait for him to bail. Like you bail and process it in less than a second. Sometimes it's just more or less just pre-snap read. Once you understand what they're in, you know who's getting the ball. You're immediately just throwing it to them as soon as it goes. So it's pretty simple. Just pull back on the stick away from the defender. And if you want to get better at it, there's a couple things you can do. Okay. If you're having problems with the free form, like if you go into a game and it gets to a situation where you feel like your free form is not on par where you need to be, you need to find a team, right? Go in practice mode with the lowest possible overall quarterback. I promise you, when you practice with a low overall, it'll make your muscle memory better when you have a higher overall. Okay? Don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. Okay, so practice with a low overall. If you have to go in a game, to get live reps to practice with a low overall, it's going to make you better long term. Okay, I did it with Carter Bradley. Hell, years past, I had fucking Nathan Peterman and shit. So I've got a lot of experience under my belt using low overalls. So I've kept pretty much, over the course of the last 3 years, I just been kind of doing it, until I got better with it. Because long story short, man, I got tired of Carr. Like Carr, he was good when he had a good line, and I was just able to throw bombs, and that was fine. But there was situations where, when the deep stuff was covered, and then I tried to throw it, and he just had that long heave animation, and I was like, I can't keep playing like this, So, end of the day, they're just going to come down to making sure that you can get good with the freeform. Now, if the freeform is on point and you're having a problem with the second part is the user catch. You have to click on, you have to make a user catch. Now you can't be good at both in one day. Rome wasn't built in one day. You're going to have to practice. So what I would do for this situation, if you're having a problem catching the ball or going for the animation, or you want to be more consistent with it, what you're going to do is you're going to find a low overall receiver, okay? Put a 66 out there. You're going to find a low overall receiver and practice with the low overall, okay? You're not going to get it in a day. You're not just going to be like, okay, I need the highest rated receivers, because you're not learning anything. This is 100% user. Okay, this is not, I need the best receiver to go get it for me. No, this is all user. It doesn't matter who you have on the field. You need to make sure that you got the user part down. Okay. So again, I got a 66 overall over there. Wait for the bell. 66 overall. Nothing changes. It's user. It's great user. It doesn't matter who you have out there. It doesn't matter who you have throwing. I can put Aiden O'Connell in and get the same thing. Watch this. Some of y'all be like, oh, you got Minshew in there. Well, Minshew's 81. That's fine. Right. I'll put Connell in. Same thing. It's all user. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is usering overrides the AI. Okay. If you just press a button and throw it, you're going to have inaccurate stuff. Okay. If you freeform it, it's all user. Let's go. The AI cannot control it. So I can put my lower overall quarterback to a low receiver. Nothing changes. I'm still catching. Okay. It does. That's where I want the community in. I want everyone to get to the point where it doesn't matter what you got on the outside. It doesn't matter who you have throwing the ball, that you're still going to be able to make throws. Okay, so just simple, consistent, over and over. So I mean, obviously, you'll be like, okay, that's cover three. I know every drop zone is different, right? So let's say I'm going up against someone that's, let's say I've seen it too. Let's say you got Tampa 2. Tampa 2 is going to be a little bit different. Okay, you're going to have to wait a little bit on the throw. Usually, there's going to be disparity. Like if they run a stock cover 2, Tampa, you're going to wait for the zone chuck, and then the fade should go out away from the deep half. If they run zone drops and they start putting like zero flats or whatever, you're not going to get that zone chuck. Okay, you're going to need to throw it inside. All right. So always pay attention to how you're getting reactions on the corners. Because if I'm trying to throw a zone drop defense like I'm throwing a regular Tampa 2, I'm going to throw a pick, because usually I'm relying on that chuck to lead me away from the deep half reacted to me. Okay, so simple as this, wait for the chuck so that you can lead it outside away from the deep half. If I don't get that chuck, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to get separation from that deep half. So I'm going to show you. We're making try pretty simple. I don't know if they got like a hard flat. They got a 3 hard flat. Okay, they got a 2 hard flat. Okay. In a hard flat defense, you're not going to get that chuck. Okay, so he's just going to go straight to the zone. And if I try to lead it out, usually the safety's over there. Obviously, practice mode, I've mastered the free form. But, when you're practicing or whatever, or you're just getting started into it, then obviously you're going to throw it near that safety. But usually I want y'all to throw it as soon as he breaks, and I want to throw it low and inside. Okay? So make sure you get that practice. Now, the next thing that you want to get, now that's the free form part. The next thing you want to get is the click on and the user, right? So what am I doing for the user catch? When I click on, obviously that one was late, but when I'm clicking on, I'm always, during the animation, I want to animate first. Slow it down. I want to animate first, and during the animation, you hit R1. Sometimes in a tight game, I make the mistake, we're only human. Sometimes in a tight game, and I'm still working on it, I'll sometimes hit R1 too soon. If I hit it too soon, it takes me out of the play. You want to hit it as you animate to protect the ball. Okay? You don't want to, like, if I just go for, a spectacular catch and I don't hit to secure the ball, then what's going to happen is a chance that it gets popped loose. You don't want to get popped loose. See how he immediately, he'll tuck the ball with his second hand? If I don't do that, then there's a chance that it'll be pop loose or a hit stick fumble or something like that might occur. So you want to make sure that you hold it. See, watch, if I do it too soon, like sometimes in a game, it's like he'll freeze. Like when I'm trying to turn him around, he'll freeze. In practice mode, it's not doing that right now. It'll give me consistent reps because obviously I've done master it. But I do know that in certain situations, it'll get to a point where I click on and I hit R1 too soon, and I take myself completely out of the play. So like if I click, see, yeah, it's not going to do it right now, but I know in a game, because I got the reps experience, it'll basically make your receiver stop and not animate at all, and you'll throw a pick. So do be careful with that. And then, like I said, I'll show you against like a cover 4 drop. It's no biggie. It's pretty consistent. Like I said, you want to make sure that the running back is on the side that your quarterback throws with, so you have a better check. For some odd reason, like if he's on the back side, if he's on your blind side, usually it's not going to bode well for you. Okay, it's going to be a little bit harder to protect that blind side, because he's going to be in the way of you needing to step forward if you need to, and that's just how I do it. So just go back into it one more time, see if I can find a drop defense. Find one. Okay. So if they got like a cover 4 drop, it shouldn't matter. I got a low overall. It's just the pass lead on the cover 4 is a little bit different. See, that's what I mean. Sometimes you'll You got to get that practice on the separation. So that's Keaton 66 overall. So you get, see that? See how I hold an R1 in triangle. That way you secure the ball, and it's going to help like low overalls. Okay, so and you see right here, what you want to do is you want to get separation on the bell. So see how I immediately just cut off the route to force the defender to turn right, and then I come back, I hold the secure, and when you secure the ball, you get animations like this. You'll sometimes it's just like turning conservative on your ball carrier, and you know if they like dive at you or try to hit stick you, you'll just break off of them. Okay, so that's just the added benefit of holding the R1 as you animate, or sometimes stuff like that does happen if you hit R1 too soon. That's what I was trying to show you. But yeah, stuff like that will happen if you hold R1 too soon. It'll take you out of the play. So you just gotta make sure that you get the practice on it. And I see I'll hold R1 and I'm able to catch it on the their best corner with my lowest overall receiver. So it doesn't really matter. Just go in the lab and practice it. Like you can sit there and do this all day. Okay. And like I said, the last thing before I cut out is you want to make sure that you get your reps. Whether you need to play real opponents, or if you just want to go up against the computer a couple times till you get comfortable. See how he died right there. Sometimes that happens. It's like it's not going to be perfect. I know I'm using a low overall, but he went for like a spectacular catch forward, and he fucking speared the DB. But it just takes practice, fellas. Like I said, Rome's not built in a day. I've gotten to the point where I can use low overall receivers and still do this. It doesn't matter what's out there. I think I just joined a CFM, so we're going to see how it plays out in that aspect as well. But definitely going to get these guys, a lot of receiving yards. Going to push the ball down the field a lot. See, sometimes you got to be careful with low overall. Sometimes that does happen. That's why I was trying to say you want to make sure that you practice your user where you pull yourself away from the zones. Okay, you don't want to pull yourself in, because zones and drop zones, they react to what gets near them, whether it's vertical or if it's even if it's just a flat, they can get pulled and manipulated a little bit, but they also react to anything that's in their area. So you have to manipulate your user to find the soft spot. You can't just, pull and throw. Like if I just pull and throw and don't do anything, the AI is going to be knocking that shit loose all day, like that. But if you control it, now I can throw it a little bit deeper on it. So just got to take a little work throwing it to a low overall, because of the deep route running, I think affects it a little bit. But I can throw it deep down the field doing this. It's just low overalls aren't going to be as consistent on the deeper throws. So usually, like I said, probably 15 to 20 is going to be your target range with low overalls, or just in general, just doing it. As you get better, you could probably, I would suggest using better receivers downfield with this. But like I said, 60-something overalls, they're not going to be consistent. They'll get, 20-30% of them maybe. But you put your big boys downfield if you want consistency. Now this is my backup. Look at there. Now let me put my other receiver over there, and I'll probably get like better results. But I'm gonna do it on cover 4 with a better receiver, or I might put Brock Bowers over there. Let's see. And then we'll cut the stream, and then I'll just go do like regs or whatever. I'll go check some stuff out. But I just want to kind of put these little portions out there so that you guys can see that you don't need money plays. It takes practice. Sometimes that quarter kind of just takes a little practice. I need to throw it low outside. Okay. So you can get them pretty consistent downfield. Deeper throws will warrant more fatigue, so you be mindful of that. Like especially like if you're playing mud or something. You'll fatigue your receivers if you're going really deep. But sometimes you fatigue your receivers, you're also fatiguing the DB that's on them. Look there. So, like I said, get your practice, fellas. Go into practice morning. It's the only thing I can do. I can give you the video. I can show you how it's done. But you're not just going to go in day one and just immediately just be like, oh, I'm going to do this. You got to practice. Muscle memory goes so far. If there's a defense that specifically you want to practice it on, you can do that. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's not going to be, something that is for everyone. For competitive users, this can take your game to the next level. And if you want to be that guy competitively, you're going to have to up your skill. As you can see, like right there, I got a low overall throwing it to him, man. It's like a 50, 60-yard pass. You can see right there, get the click on. It doesn't matter what they're in. Now, what I've noticed doing this in games, I just do it to get a lot of lab work and, testing. What I've noticed in games is people will tend to kind of try to start double teaming. Like they'll start taking the safety or whatever and try to man them up. Well, when you do that, what happens typically is, I'm running 4 verts. I mean, you can see I could easily place this right there for the tight end, especially if you bring extra people to defend, the outside. You're going to clear up the middle of the field. That's ultimately what you want to do. There's one of 2 things that I want to do by doing this. I want you to fear it, try to defend it, take your user out of the play. And what that's going to do is people start pass commit. When you pass commit, you become a weak box. So it opens up the run game. That's why I said I want to make sure that your running back is on the same side as the hand that you throw with, so that you get a good handoff animation. Okay, if I'm a hand quarterback and I have the handoff coming from the left side to the right, it's not going to be a very good handoff animation. I'm not going to get a good cut back on the run. I'm not going to get a good look on the play action that will cause sheds, so on and so forth. Okay, so you always want to make sure, whatever, regardless of formation is, you want to make sure that the running back is on the hand that your quarterback throws with, including on play action plays. You never want to, do it the other way around. Before I go, though, I do want to show y'all under center versus the same thing, okay? It's a little bit trickier under center because of the drop back. Sometimes if you do it too soon, you might not have your feet set, or you might step up into the pocket before the pocket even develops, and you might get like nanosecond. So you got to be careful. When you first start off doing it, it's a little stressful, but like I said, put the time in the lab, and you keep doing it until you get it right. That's the only way you're going to learn. Okay. So again, like if I'm doing a cover 4 drop right here under center, read the pocket first. And it's going to be a little bit tougher on the throw because you have to wait a little bit longer. Or sometimes you got to be like really quick on the click on. So if you're going to pass it quick, you got to be quick on the click on. You can't be hesitant. Like you got to immediately be like 1, 2, throw, just like that. All right. So that's what cover 4. And if I do cover 3 drop, and again, like I said, it's going to allow you to attack other areas on the field a lot more easier. I'm always trying to preach attack the sidelines. There's no users on the sidelines. People don't know how to use the sidelines, and when they do, I promise you, users always hesitate. They try to jump routes and stuff. They try to get up under it. But if you be patient and see how they react, you can throw easy 1-play touchdowns over their head. Because most users don't know how to defensive assist. Most users, it'll open up other things like comeback routes, because then they'll try to chase it deep. So it's really, like I said, at the end of the day, it just comes down to the practice. You come in here, same thing. Wait for the zone chuck versus cover 2, lead it to the sideline. That's a 66 overall. That's my backup quarterback. Okay, so just kind of showing y'all. Wait for the animation on cover 2. Try to put a little beat on it. Sometimes you do it too soon, a cloud will get it, but you want to get enough lead on it where it gets away from the safety. Like I said, you do it good enough, man, you're going to get situations where people have to respect it, and it's going to be tough. Okay, they're going to move guys out of position. It's going to open up the seams. It's going to do a lot for you guys. It's going to open up your run game. You know, which obviously everybody wants to run the ball, but you can't run the ball until you make them respect it, right? So again, just kind of show us cover 3. Doesn't matter if it's in plays or whatever. Same thing. Just kind of read the bell, back shoulder. Pretty simple, man. I'm very consistent with it. Like I said, I've probably put like 70,000 reps over probably more, but give or take 70,000 reps over the last 3 or 4 years. I've pretty much mastered it. So it's like the more you do something, the better you get with it. And it doesn't at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your overall is. You'll be consistent. Like I'm throwing on McDuffie right now, like it ain't nothing, to a 66 overall with a backup quarterback. So, end of the day, fellas, man, what I always tell you to do: practice. Okay, practice, get your skill up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll do part 2 tomorrow.